Authorities in Thailand say fighting between Myanmar's military government and an armed resistance has eased after receiving reports that the warring sides may have started negotiations. Myanmar military troops have allegedly staged a counter-offensive into the town of Myawaddy, forcing a rebel group to pull its fighters out after occupying that town since early April. The Karen National Union, or the KNU armed wing, says this is just, quote, a temporary retreat, adding it will continue to destroy any soldiers marching into town. Myanmar's military has been losing control of a string of key frontier areas to rebel groups in the last few months. Meanwhile, diplomatic efforts are underway. Thailand has proposed to ASEAN chair Laos that it host a meeting of Southeast Asian nations aimed at resolving the crisis in Myanmar. It added that any member of the bloc can take part in that discussion. And for the latest, CNA's Wong joins us live from Thailand's Mae Sot. Thai authorities say clashes have eased between the two sides. Now, you're at a border town. How is the situation security-wise where you are?
For the last couple of weeks, for the last couple of days, there's been ongoing explosions as well as shootings almost on a daily basis, multiple times a day, and also being heard very clearly here in Mae Sot in Thailand. Now, remember here that this has been on right now, and therefore it is not surprising to a lot of people. Well, what's surprising is that today on Wednesday, actually, it went kind of quiet. There were no reports of any explosions, and so that could mean three things. One is that negotiations are ongoing among the armed groups over in Myawaddy in Myanmar. Two is that they're reinforcing, reloading, and regrouping, determining on what to do next. And three, ultimately, this is the calm before the storm, which is going to be very unfortunate if that happens. And that's the reason why you have the security forces here in Thailand that are still monitoring the border very, very closely, and also making sure that their military armored vehicles are stationed along the border at different points to ensure safety for Thailand as well as safety for the citizens. Now, earlier also, about 20 minutes away, I went out to another spot by the riverbank bordering between Myanmar as well as Thailand, and I noticed that there was one family, especially one lady who is heavily pregnant. She told me that she's 9 months pregnant and about to deliver any day right now, and she's fearful for her life in Myanmar, and therefore she's trying to stay as close to the river as possible so that if anything happens, she can easily cross over to Thailand, hoping to seek refuge. So that's the reality on the ground right now, and we will really have to monitor the situation very closely because things can really happen on the fly.
Mae, of course, is describing a very complicated situation on the ground. Meanwhile, you've got Thailand proposing to ASEAN chair Laos that it hold a meeting for ASEAN to, quote, resolve the crisis in Myanmar. Now, that crisis is years in the making post-coup. Can there be any outcome that is substantial from any meeting of ASEAN right now?
That's very difficult to say simply because we have seen how ASEAN has tried to hold talks, how ASEAN has tried to come up with 5-point consensus, for example, for the Myanmar military to adopt and to implement. None of that seemed to have made any headway with the Myanmar military. They have their mind of their own and they are going to stick to their guns. Now, remember here that ASEAN has been working on this extremely hard, trying to find peace, trying to find a resolution for Myanmar. And that's the reason why Thailand also has now taken an initiative to propose for a meeting to handle the situation, because Thailand right now is facing also the after effects coming out from Myanmar. Thailand has therefore sent a letter to all the ASEAN member nations, particularly to Laos, the chair of ASEAN right now, to ask them to convene an ASEAN TRICAR mechanism. TRICAR mechanism meaning to involve the past ASEAN chair, the current ASEAN chair, and the future ASEAN chair, that of Indonesia, Laos, the current ASEAN chair, and incoming ASEAN chair for 2025, that would be Malaysia. Having all three of them come together, and also an ASEAN TRICAR plus, meaning that other members of ASEAN can participate in this in order to come and find solutions to help Myanmar find peace. Thailand is very vested in this simply because Thailand, as I mentioned, is actually feeling all all these effects of refugees flowing over, effects of stray bullets, explosions happening way too close to Thai soil. And also at that, trade has been disrupted severely between Thailand as well as Myanmar. So all of these are causing concerns for Thailand, and Thailand really wants to find solutions to help Myanmar get back on its feet and also to resume some kind of normalcy, because peace over in Myanmar also means peace for Thailand here at the border, and also a lot more certainty, a lot more stability for Thailand, a lot more stability for this region.
And that was CNA's Mae Wong reporting live from the border in Mae Sot.